Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today, it's the first video I'm filming in the new year. I've got a cool, new to me, Damasko to show you. It came out, I want to say I think earlier in 2018 or so. It's their DC80, which is really more than just a watch that's nice to look at. There's a lot of technological achievements on the inside that make it super special. We're going to head over and check it out. Before we do so, the Squale 60 Atmos Blue is still there. And then I switched the left wrist to something that I don't wear too often. The Nomos Tangente. 36 millimeters or so, something like that. Very comfortable watch, fits very well. Something I do not take out all that often. I probably should now, but let's head over and check out this really cool Damasko. So I present to you the Damasko DC80 chronograph. This one has the green accents, green chrono hands, and green accents on the leather strap. What makes this watch special or different or worth the $2,600 asking price, I want to get that out of the way, is a lot of the technology, typical of Damasko, that the watch has, whether it be the kind of O-ring sealing technology they use, scratch-resistant coatings. Here, there's a lot of technology on the inside that Damasko designed, developed, patented for the specific use of this watch. And this watch uses what's known as their C51-1 caliber movement. So let's go over some of the basics, and then we'll dive into that. So it is a 42 millimeter watch, so, from here to here. With the bezel, it's right 43.8, so the bezel sticks out just a little bit from the case. It's just shy of 14 thick. It's going to be 50 millimeters on the tip to tip. The lugs are fairly squat, as you can see. They curve down nicely. It is a screw down case back, anti-reflective sapphire crystal, 22 millimeter lug width. So if you don't like this strap, obviously options are aplenty. Water resistance is 100 meters. Screw down crown, of course. Well, we wouldn't know if it's running, but I'm pretty sure it's not running because it's pulled out of the box. So first, visually, we notice there's no running seconds. There's no way to know the watch is running. There are two hands stacked here like chrono hands. You can see them, but there is no running seconds. So first, we're going to wind the watch. So the movement, well, it's a screw down crown. So first, you have to unscrew it. It snaps out like it just did, and now we can wind it. So it's going to start up in a minute, but you won't know it because nothing will start moving. The movement is based off of a Valjoux 7750. The 7750 is basically the cornerstone of the Swiss chronograph market, the automatic chronograph market. But Damasko has taken that movement and, I don't want to say redesigned it, but used it as a platform to produce this watch. The Valjoux 7750 has three subdials, one at the 12, one at the 6, one at the 9, and a day date at the right. The day date is gone, as well as the three subdials. One of them was a running second subdial, and the other two were elapsed minutes and elapsed hours. So what Damasko has done is basically one of the first movements since the Lume 5100. They've made it a central seconds and central minutes elapsed chrono. So when I start the chrono with this top button, you'll see that the seconds hand, the green hand, starts. So it's a chrono. So this is timing now. Now, typically on the 7750, the large seconds hand was the chrono hand, but the minutes counter was, I don't know if it was top or bottom, I think it was bottom, was a small subdial, and very, very tough to see the elapsed minutes. Because they made the elapsed minutes here central, it stretches the entire expanse of the dial, so you can easily see how many minutes have elapsed. Another thing that they did, kind of like some of the Seagull chronographs that I've done lately, and definitely a lot of the quartz chronos, is the elapsed minute will not click until the minute is almost up, almost like a Swiss Railways watch or a Swiss Railways clock. So you always know what the elapsed minutes are. So I'm just going to focus it there for a minute, and you'll see when it gets to 1 minute elapsed, you will watch that kind of airplane minute hand, and there it goes. So it snaps over to 1 minute. So now 1 minute has elapsed, 1 minute and 3 seconds, 4 seconds, etc. And then you stop it with the same button and reset. And because it's mechanical, it's a very satisfying click. It feels very, very nice. So that's kind of what makes this watch so special. Is, Damasko worked on this movement. They have patents on it, and again, it's not an in-house movement. It starts its life as a Valjoux 7750, but it ends its life as a Damasko C51 movement with a 48-hour power reserve. So the watch, like most Damaskos, is it's ice hardened or hardened stainless steel. So they increase the surface hardness, so it will not scratch easily. And then they take the bezel insert one step further with Damask coating, D-A-M-E-S-T, and it is super, super resistant to scratching. Couple that with the anti-reflective sapphire crystal, and you have a watch, like a lot of the Damaskos. It will look new, probably, for most of its ownership. I'll show you the case back so you can check it out. You can read it if you want. And obviously it's made in Germany, and it's just one heck of a watch. You'll see when I try it on later. It's sized very well. It's very comfortable to wear. It's not too heavy in the hand. It's balanced very nicely. The bezel, one of the best bezels in the business, if not the best bezels in the business. I think they're like ceramic ball bearings or something they use for their bezels. Maybe one day I'll have to do like a Damasko technology video. Maybe I'll tear one down. But it just, I know you hear it, but you can probably almost feel it. Feels so nice. Now it's bi-directional, and it is a count up bezel rather than a count down bezel because of the chronograph feature. And in just two directions just makes it a little bit easier to use. This is not a diving bezel. You notice that it goes from 5 to 60. Like I said, this one's got the green accent. It also has super luminova. So let us flip out the lights and see how that looks. There you go. It's very easy to read. Again, it's not too dark in here. The pip glows. All the hands and numbers glow. It just looks really nice. Really, really, really nice. Even in darkness. So in light, the watches look great. Even in darkness, they look great. Just so classy. So like I've remarked in the past with other Damaskos, they're just visually uninteresting and extremely interesting all at the same time. At almost any angle, the crystal disappears. The use of colors, the use of the fonts, everything else just looks so nice. And that chrono, such a satisfying click. And the central seconds, central minutes, really cool. The one downfall here is that to keep it clean, there's no elapsed hour counter anywhere on the dial. So after 1 hour, you don't know how many hours have elapsed unless you're keeping track of it somewhere else. So after 1 hour, this airplane looking hand or the cross hand will come back around to here after 59 minutes, and at 60 minutes it goes back to 0, and the chrono will continue running, but you won't know. Let's say it was 3 hours and 20 minutes, you won't know how many hours it had actually elapsed. So the chronograph is useful for measuring things that are under 60 minutes. And before we get to the wrist shot, I'll just say the DC56, which is another chrono, which runs on the Valjoux 7750, not worked on by Damasko to any extent that this is. That watch retails for around $1,800. So I want to put things into perspective that for the extra $800, you're basically getting, a movement that's been fully modified by them, all the R&D, all the patent work, all the manufacturing and everything that goes into creating this new movement. So when you compare it to the price of a Damasko chronograph, it kind of takes a little bit of the edge off, because Damasko's start out price, a simple three-handed watch, is $1,000. So for what you're getting for around $2,600, again, I know it's a tough sell, but I'm really just here to show you what the watch looks like, what it does, how it operates, and why it's just cool. Like I said, there's not many center seconds and center minutes chronographs out there that are competing for your money. So there it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. It looks fine. Feels great. 50 is getting close to, almost what my wrist width is, but I easily overlooked that for a watch of this beauty. 42 millimeters, 50 millimeter lug width. Looks and feels terrific. Like I said, visually uninteresting and extremely appealing all at the same time. And just before we close it, I will zoom in on it so you can check out the fit and finish on the case, on the chrono buttons, the Damasko logo on the crown, the hands. Everything about it just screams quality, screams fit and finish. You know, nothing, you know, no rough edges, nothing here is left to chance. And we will just look at the registration, my goodness, and just give it a second and we'll watch that minute hand advance. So satisfying, really cool. So this has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the Damasko DC80 chronograph. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below and I will be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.